Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, Ip Man, the movie. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it. All right, today is August 2nd, and it's a Tuesday, and we're going to be doing Ip Man the movie.
That's right.
You headed this one up, so take it away.
Okay. Ip Man is it's a loose biography on the actual person, Yip Kaiman, who, as very few people know, is the teacher of Bruce Lee. He was one of his first senseis.
I did not know that.
Okay. This is the story of Ip Man, who is the founding teacher of Wing Chun, which is a grappling martial arts that also does, it's very defensive, offensive, uses the momentum of the other opponent, grappling and then striking. But the movie has absolutely nothing to do with Bruce Lee, and I love that about it, because so many people are like, they would easily take advantage of the fact that this was Bruce Lee's master.
And that would really rob him of his due.
And I believe he absolutely has his due. This movie, I love this movie. I love Kung Fu. I do. Anything, like The Man with the Iron Umbrella, 1,000 Mile Escort.
Which some we may talk about.
Flying Guillotine, But what I love is, with these newer ones, like Ip Man, they stick to the traditionalness of those older movies, and I think that's important because so many people are trying to branch away. Like, what was his name? The one who did Stranglehold.
Can't help you there.
Chow. Shoot, why can't I remember his name? Where they try and incorporate guns into it, and make it a very modern thing. They kind of miss it, in my opinion, because it's just it detracts from the fighting, the stances and all that stuff. I used to watch movies specifically for the stances, Invincible Pole Fighter, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, when you think of kung fu, you think of hand to hand and amazing feats, but you also think of cheese a lot of times. This one is definitely not cheese.
No, not at all, not at all. It's definitely not Chinese Super Ninjas if you've ever seen that one.
And it's centered around basically what is it, town or village? I don't know if those are interchangeable here, but basically it's a bunch of fighting schools are in this area, and Ip Man is a wealthy, kind of, I guess, retired because he doesn't do this sort of thing anymore. He's a well-versed martial artist, and all these other schools around him, the students really want him to teach, to be their master, and so they're trying to get him to be, to open up a school, to be in competition, and. There's this roving gang that comes through that thinks that they're better than any of the people in the school, and turns out they kind of are. But they challenge Ip Man because they hear Ip Man is the best. Is the best. So there's an interesting start there of story, and then the movie takes a completely drastic change
with the invasion of the Japanese. And that it really. I don't know how else they can better show the character of Ip Man than through not only the roving gang, but then now
that adversity.
Yeah, the Japanese invasion, their poverty, their newfound poverty, I should say. All this stuff. It weighs on top of him, and you as the audience, it weighs on top of you. And it was inspirational, really it was.
Yeah,
I loved it.
So once Japan invades, you don't see any of that. It's basically the aftermath once they're already in control. And we go from Ip Man, being forced to do slave labor. He's lost his money. He's lost all his property and whatever. And the Japanese are really interested in the elite fighters, and they basically the general pits all these different fighters against each other. Basically, they take the best of the Chinese fighters, the best of the schools, the masters, and they pit them against, you know, countless Japanese foes or,
Yeah.
you know, themselves or whatever. And it kind of behooves the Chinese to play these games because they get food, you know, rice if they win, or
Yeah.
if they, you know, if they please the general. And so Ip Man resists it at first, but then somebody close to him gets involved and gets murdered basically in this fighting. And without giving too much away, he steps up, and much to the chagrin of his family, I guess, or his wife and anyway,
Child, yeah.
it's very, very compelling, as Nick said. It's a definite good watch, especially if you're into kung fu. But even if you're not,
yeah, it's still really good. I mean, if you took out all of the kung fu action sequences, it's still an impressive movie. You know, as far as story goes, it's just
it is a very good story. Yeah, go see it.
Yeah, I agree. Now there is a sequel, Ip Man 2, and I don't know if they directly, you know, if it's sequentially the successor, but to me, I would watch Ip Man 1, you know, because that was the better of the two. But Ip Man 2 definitely has its good qualities, and I think it even brings in some of the, you know, some an inside joke here and there from the first movie, but you know, it can stand alone without, you know, the first movie. So you could definitely watch both of them without never watching the first one or the second one or something.
And I would say that right now, like Ong Bak is big, you know, the Thailand thing.
Yeah.
But this is totally different. Whether you're a fan of that or not, this is much more reserved and much more, you know, he's much more calculating. It's much more serious.
Oh, yeah.
Ong Bak is like, you know, look what I can do.
Yeah, and he just
slow motion
tackles and stuff. Yeah.
Which is really cool. It's fun to watch, but this is different. This is a more serious take. So even if you're thrown off by that movie for whatever reason, you should give this one a shot.
Right, absolutely. And I think
he's a fairly unassuming character, which is interesting.
Right, Donnie Yen plays a great Ip Man. You know, just like you said, collected. Yeah, that was it. You know, he was calm, collected, always polite, always you know, almost regal. You know. But once it came time, once he knew that fighting was unavoidable, he, you know,
it's a switch.
Fast. It's just amazing. So yeah, absolutely. As far as kung fu movies, watch it. As far as regular story movies, watch it. Seriously.
All right. So tell us what you think of the movie. Follow us on Facebook. Show us your support. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
You got to come up with a code word.
How about I win? That's a code word.
I hit it twice. Twice.
Oh, that doesn't stick.
No, it doesn't stick. It never sticks.
All right, guys. A couple arcade games and LASIK surgery on our next focal point.
Of course, this series is going to suck because I'm sick as a dog.
Well, the first one was okay, so just don't drop the ball.
I don't have a ball.
I'll just be like, can you be more interesting? Instead of like, tell me more. Can you be more interesting?
That would stop me like that. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be like,
Yeah, he does kind of juggle.
A little.
Alright.
I can throw the balls up, they come down eventually. Do you think the thing's gonna hear me on the call function?
It doesn't matter if it does. If it's really killing you, just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Just try not to. Blah, blah, blah. When you're talking, though, you know.
Yeah.
And to Nick. Okay, today is Tuesday, August 2nd.
Yes, it is.
We're going to be reviewing Ip Man the movie. Nick, take it away.
Okay.
Come back here and take it away.
Yeah, so we're doing Ip Man the movie, which is, it came out in 2008. Should I get her over?
You were squeaky. Our chairs are rubbing together. Yeah, okay. Please take it over.
It's not, it'll be just one that's not like the others.
One of these things is not like the others. One of those things is crap.